In today's video, I'm upgrading my darkroom with a new enlarger that will allow me to print 4x5 negatives. I've had my 4x5 camera for over 7 years and I've been darkroom printing for over 7 years as well, but somehow I've never made a 4x5 color darkroom print. This is partially because the larger the negative gets, the more difficult it becomes to work with in the darkroom. You need much larger equipment to accommodate the negative size. And today is finally the day that I change that. Both of these enlargers only do up to 6x9 is the largest format they'll do. Now I have a 4x5 enlarger. It's just been sitting in my laundry room for like 2 years because it's broken, but today I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna get it working right. We're gonna make a holder for it, and I'm gonna print my first ever 4x5 photos in the darkroom. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this for, I don't know, 8 years, ever since I got a 4x5 camera. So this is probably the only time on this channel that I'll take you to my laundry room. Laundry. And then over here, we have an enlarger. This is a shared space with like a bunch of tenants and everyone kind of loosely uses it as storage. And this 4x5 enlarger has been taking up so much room. It doesn't work right now, but we're gonna fix it in this video. And now I need to figure out how to get this absolutely massive thing into my apartment. Whew, that's heavy. All right, I've decided I need to do some work out in my kitchen first because this thing is insanely dirty, and I need to disassemble it a little because it's not even gonna fit through the door of my office if I don't do this. Oh my God, look how dirty this is. That's disgusting. Ooh, that's satisfying. So although this thing looks like it's in good condition and it's cleaning up nice, I do remember some electrical components in here not working properly. So we're gonna be replacing those today. The market for this stuff is super weird. Like, you can find people on Facebook giving this stuff away because they don't know what to do with it. They don't want it. It's huge. They want it out of their space. The other side of it is people on eBay charging like thousands of dollars for these things that other people are literally trying to give away for free. And so it's a really weird market. And if you need a specific piece, you either pay an insane premium on eBay or you wait for somebody to give it away for free. It's really just a game of patience, I guess, but I got this enlarger pretty cheap. Of course, it doesn't work, but we're gonna try and fix that today. All right, this part I'm removing because it's what's broken. For the most part, this whole base seems like it's in great condition, and I do remember the motor working, so if we can get some good light output out of this, we should be in business. How the fuck am I gonna get this through this door? Let's see. Oh, let's go. That was easier than I thought. Oh, sorry, 3D printer. Let's go. I didn't think that was possible. Something that doesn't really come across on camera is how small my studio space is. And now I need to find room for this absolutely massive 4x5 enlarger in this setup. I think it's gonna have to go somewhere over here. I mean, that's really the only option. Of course, there are shelves in the way. All right, so now we need this third one over here. I don't think it's gonna clear that shelf and I wanna leave that up, so I'm gonna put this medium format enlarger this way, I think. Pull this guy out. Oh, brother, this is gonna be an issue. Oh, this is gonna stick out so far, isn't it? Hey, that actually sort of fits. The setup here is looking pretty dang sweet. Somehow I managed to fit all of this. I did have to get rid of those shelves, of course, but I'm very stoked on this. There is a little bit of overhang here, but it is what it is. It's a trade-off I'm willing to make for a 4x5 enlarger. This is the original print head that came with this enlarger, and it just makes weird buzzy electrical noises when you turn it on, and it doesn't actually make any light. I tried replacing the bulb in it, but unfortunately, I think something electrically is cooked inside here. And thankfully, that's where this puppy comes in. I found a new used one of these online. Oh, this one's in much better condition. Look at the difference in the color here. Unless that's just that color. I don't know. We'll find out. Inside of here, there's a 35mm diffusion chamber, which we're gonna have to replace with this 4x5 diffusion chamber. This basically just has a bigger light output for the larger negative. Okay, fits good, thankfully. All right, it's time to plug this in. I'm pretty nervous because, well, it's old technology and who knows if this will just combust into flames. So far, look at that. It moves up and down. That's freaking sick. On a motor? My old enlargers, I used to have to manually move them. Could not be me though. I got a motor now. Let's turn this on. Coming to life. Let's try a little light output here. Let's try making it really magenta. Yes, look at that, magenta light. Yes! If all is well, this should be cyan. Let's go! My next problem to solve is the fact that this printer does not come with a negative holder. So typically in here, you can open this up and you'd insert your negative between the light source and the lens on the enlarger. You need some kind of a tray that will hold this and slide your 4x5 negatives in and out of here. So I need to make one of these because they're insanely hard to find. There's not a single 4x5 negative holder for this enlarger for sale on the internet right now. There's literally not one. So until I can find one, I need to make my own solution, and I'm going to do that using my 3D printer. So now what I'm going to do is take some measurements on this thing, kind of measure the inside diameter of this opening, measure the width of the whole thing, and I'm going to try to make a holder myself for this thing. I took the measurements from the enlarger and started drawing up a holder in some free software called Fusion 360. I have very little experience in CAD design, but I found it surprisingly simple and intuitive to use. After the initial sketch was done, I could export these files to be 3D printed on my Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon. And just an hour later, this is now a real usable part. All right, good news. The two halves of the holder are printed, but the bad news is they don't fit together quite right. I made these locating pins here so that these would kind of click together and not slide around, but I think the tolerances are just a little bit off. So I made some small adjustments to the CAD file for these, and I'm printing another version of this right now. This is usually part of the process, especially with something that's supposed to fit precisely. So I'm printing another version of this right now. It's gonna take about an hour. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna set up the darkroom, get some chemicals mixed up for my processor, and black out this room, because right now there's two giant windows that are open and I need it to be dark in here. It's time to mix up some chemicals. This is probably always my least favorite part. I really don't like doing this. The developer comes in 3 parts, so you mix a little bit of everything in very precise measured amounts, of course. Somehow it stays good for a very long time. I used to have developer that would go bad like, 2 weeks after opening it, but I've been using this kit from Silver Pixel. It's their RA4 kit. It stays good for a very long time. I like that a lot. 100 mils of this, 100 mils of this. Now I gotta add a little water. And we make 2,000 milliliters, aka 2 liters. I love the way the color changes though, that part is cool. I'm gonna go put it in the processor. The processor is all loaded up with chemicals. It's heating up. I keep it in this separate room because this room has ventilation right there. And then I close this door. And now we just gotta black out the windows because it is really bright in here still. Alrighty folks, hot off the press. There's another version. Let's see if this fits any better. Yes! There we go. Now this closes down really nicely. No gap there anymore. Let's try and put a negative in this and see how it sits. I'm gonna have to take this back out to contact print it, but let's just do a test fit. Oh, that's beautiful. That's gonna be great. Yes. Now let's see if this will go on. Oh, perfect. Yes. That is a beautiful holder. And it fits really nicely. Now the last test is to see if it'll fit in here. It seats nicely. Close it down. There's still one light on, but if this works, we should see an image here now. Let's see. All right, that's making very concerning noises now. Just bang on it a couple times, I guess. Will it focus? Yes, look at that. That's a 4x5 image right there. Look at that, people. Look at all that detail. Are you kidding me? That looks so good. I will say, this thing up here is starting to make some concerning noises. See if you can hear that. That popping, that's not good. That cannot be good. Sounds like electricity arcing in there. Oh, what is that? Maybe it's a relay or something switching on and off, but before it was just doing it non-stop. Yeah, that's not good. Maybe this one isn't so good after all. Oh man. All right, my negatives are sleeved like this, 4 per sleeve. I got a bunch of them here. I've got photos of freeways and photos from Morro Bay that I shot this past week on 4x5. So first what we need to do before we can make an actual print is contact print the images. And what that means is I'm gonna put them in this enlarger here directly on a sheet of paper, and that'll give us kind of a better idea of what these negatives look like. It's a good way to get like an initial glance at the colors of the negatives and if they're sharp. Take the sheet of paper, take the negatives in complete darkness, put it under this glass, smush it down, and then usually this is around a 16-second exposure. Once that's done, I come over here to this processor, stick it in here, and then 3 minutes later, it comes out developed on the other side. Look at this, you set up a 4x5 enlarger and all of a sudden, everyone wants to come print their 4x5.
I just ordered a 4x5 so that I can also come use the, you can use it for free. I'm the boss.
At this point, I started making my first prints from a 4x5 negative. It usually takes quite some time to dial in the color, dial in the exposure, and this is a process where you kind of go back and forth, make some adjustments, see how the print comes out, and keep refining it further and further. This is the very first print that came out. It is not quite right. It is too red, too dark. Maybe needs a little bit of green in it as well. So I made a second print This one's a little lighter, a little more blue, still needs some more green, some more blue. So I made a third print, and I'm really happy with the colors on this one. Nice and neutral, very lifelike, I would say. And then I just wasn't quite happy with the crop, so I made a fourth print that is cropped in a little further just by raising the enlarger up. And this is my first ever final 4x5 print. I'm so happy with how this turned out. The detail in it is absolutely beautiful. It is so sharp. Colors are gorgeous. And overall, this is exactly what I was looking for. I spent the rest of my night loading up some more 4x5 negatives and making some more prints. This video is already getting very long, so I'm not going to go in depth into the darkroom printing process. I have a ton of other videos on this topic if this is something you're interested in learning more about. It also mostly happens in the dark, so there isn't exactly a lot that I can film, but it consists mainly just of swapping out negatives, making prints, adjusting the colors little by little, adjusting the exposure of the print until you get something that you're happy with. It's a couple hours later and I have 4 final 4x5 prints that I made, 2 from Moro and 2 freeway photos. And I couldn't be more happy with how they turned out. The colors, the detail, everything about it is just phenomenal. The images are incredibly sharp. They're very rich with color. Because it's a 4x5, I can do these kinds of architectural photos with very straight lines. Same with this one here. The lines are all straight. The shadows under here are gorgeous. They're deep. I'm going to put some scans of these prints up on the screen at the end of the video so you can really see what they look like, because I think this iPhone video doesn't really do it justice. It doesn't bring the colors across that nicely. But overall, I'm super stoked with these 4 prints for my first test, really, of this new enlarger. I think it's an amazing addition to the darkroom. I want to be able to do this on a bigger scale. Unfortunately, my limitation right now is just the size of the roll of paper that I had. I need to order a wider roll of paper, and then I can make even bigger prints, which I think will really take advantage of the resolution of 4x5. Stick around till the end of the video. I'll put these scans up on screen so you can really take a close look at them. But before I wrap it up, I want to say thank you to the channel's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is an incredible all-in-one website building platform that you can use to build your photography portfolio online. I've been using Squarespace for so many years now, and they've made it so easy to get a website up and running with my photography. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can hit the link in my description for a 14-day free trial of Squarespace. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Willem for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain.